What is good, YouTube? Quinway basketball analysis coming to y'all with that quick analysis while holding down analysisplayground.com. Thanks for everybody supporting the merchandise. Thanks for everybody supporting the movement by continuing to watch, continuing to like, continuing to subscribe, and continuing to share all content that I have produced so far with this channel and in the past. All I can say right now is the Charlotte Hornets, a team that had a lot of potential, a lot of heart, played real hard, was a team that really competed, especially under James Borrego. Add Gordon Hayward. They get a potential superstar in LaMelo Ball. They also add some interesting role players, let some guys go, like the Malik Monks and the Devontae Grahams, but add some young players that they can see some potential in that can possibly be better or give them the same just under a cheaper contract, as these guys will be on rookie contracts. This team is trying to build upon what they did last season. There was a playoff team for a lot of the season. They ended up bottoming out to being just a playing team when it was all said and done. They overachieved. A lot of people didn't look at them as a playoff team coming into the season, and they ended up proving us all wrong by being in that conversation throughout the entire season, basically. But they ultimately didn't make it, which we all got right at that point. But this team, new goals, not going to take us by surprise. You want to make it, they have enough talent to make it. Now we can expect this team to be more interesting now because it's not going to be a surprise. It's not going to be coming out of nowhere. This team is legit. This team is real good. And let's talk about what to expect from them. James Booknight, interesting young player, 21 years old, 6'4", 190. Came off an elbow injury that really derailed his college career, but was able to put enough together to still be a lottery pick. A guy to me that's very interesting. Got locked up a little bit in summer league, but also showed some signs that he can play on and off the ball. Showed some playmaking ability. Showed some scoring ability, getting to the basket. Showed the ability to move without the ball and still be able to knock down threes, even if they're deep. A very interesting young player. I think he needs a couple seasons to get it together IQ wise, defensively, understanding pace of the game, athleticism of the game, and just adjusting to the game. But he's 21. He got a long way to go. I think that he definitely can be their future two guard. That's why you draft him. But he got to put a lot of things together to become a star in this league. And we just was give him the time and give him some patience and see if he can live up to that hype. Miles Bridges been a big body in this league, has been playing that small forward position, just strong, real physical, comes at you, really can finish around that paint, has become a switchable guy too for them that can go big at the four, can play some small ball at the as a small forward because he's undersized because he's only 6'6", but a versatile guy, a versatile wing, and very athletic and very crazy in open court too. So has a lot of excitement factor. Really plays well off LaMelo, which is always fun to have him have that guy that can roll and finish pretty well, and he is a solid rebounder for a size. So might not be a superstar, might not be an all-star, but a solid rotation player that a lot of teams would love to have, especially because you forget Miles Bridges is only 23. He's not that old. He's been in the league for a couple years, but is still very young and still has potential to get better, and that's why I can see them keeping him long-term because he fits what they're trying to do. Vernon Carey, I don't really know what to expect from him. I don't see him having a huge role on his team. I don't really see him being a great center. I know he's 270, but 6'9" is just too undersized. I know he has the length and the size and the mobility to be one of those roamy centers, but until the offensive game get polished out a lot more, which could happen in the future, I don't really see him being a legitimate starting center just yet. But maybe 2 to 3 years from now, he can be something. But right now, he's a rotation guy at best. Gordon Hayward has been amazing for this team when healthy. The problem is he's never really healthy the last couple years, which is unfortunate because they paying him a lot of money to really be that guy that puts everything together, can handle the ball, hit the mid range, hit the three, play make, can also post up, and also can have high IQ to understand where guys need to be where they should be and how to get them there by leading them there with passes or just making a pass that the defender doesn't see. Has real good skill, has real good understanding of how the game should be played. The ideal wing outside, he's not a great defender anymore, but at the same time, What more can you ask for Gordon Hayward at this point? You knew what he was in Boston. He wasn't a superstar or all-star in Boston. You bring him over to give you some of that, if not more, in Charlotte. But it'll be different this year as guys have gotten better. His role won't be as demanding as it was last year, in my personal opinion. And maybe he can relax a little bit and just play his glue guy role on his team and just be clutch and help them make the right decisions in the right plays when they matter most. And if he can do that, he can be valuable for this team. And that's why they was winning a lot when he was healthy and really suffered in crater, especially in the fourth quarters and third quarters when he was not. So he's still important to this team, and he still needs to be important because that contract is huge. He has to produce under that type of contract unless he's going to hear the yakety yak again. West, he's interesting because I don't really see him getting significant playing time on this team. Especially has to improve his shooting. You want him to be a three switchable D guy, and he just hasn't become a great defender or a great shooter just yet in his career. But he's young. He's still 26. He's 6'6", got legitimate size, 195, have legitimate strength to defend both positions and even give you some at the three. Interesting player, just have to put the offensive game together. Kai Jones, people think he's a great pickup. He's a little too raw. He's not ready to produce and really make an impact on his team just yet. Maybe 3 years from now, that's how much of a flaws that he has to figure out, especially because he has to do it on NBA level in starters to be a legitimate player. Has huge upside, has huge potential, but needs a lot of development to get there. I don't see him having a huge role on this team just yet, but 3 years from now, I can definitely see it. Cody Martin is a solid small forward for this team, really undersized, but they don't really have a lot of threes outside of Gordon Hayward that can really defend that position and play the four legitimately. But a guy that's going to give you a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, a lot of effort. Just needs a guy that's going to put in a lot of work and really be hard and work hard on the court too. And he does that, and that's what really gives them some help. Jaden McDaniels, he's still far away. 205 pounds, 6'9", just still doesn't have the body, still doesn't have the scoring ability where you need him to be reliable. He's still a rotation player, somebody that they're bringing along. I can definitely see him getting minutes, but defensively, IQ wise, he's not there. Offensively, can't make shots and not a legitimate shot maker just yet. Has the potential to be, just hasn't had the consistency of shooting from three or mid range at a efficient level. But he still has to grow his muscles, his strength, his IQ, and understanding where to be at and how to get his shot to be created and be able to get it off efficiently. And that's something that takes years to develop. He's 23, but that's something that he's going to have to figure out if he wants to have a significant role on his team. Kelly Oubre Jr. gives them a wing, still struggled shooting the ball, has been one of his Achilles heels throughout his career. A guy that's fearless, a guy that isn't scared to take shots and put them up, but he has to put them in if he wants to have a huge role in the league. Still getting paid like a wing that really does a lot, but it's just because this guy is aggressive. He's looking for a shot, he's getting to his spots, and he's going to let it fly. We just wish he can shoot just a little bit better, if not a lot more better from three, and really be able to handle the ball and make more better decisions and be a playmaker. Hasn't been able to figure that point. Haven't been able to figure those points out yet in his career, but that'll make him the ideal wing, that slash ideal glue guy in the league, and can really give him longevity with a team. But at this point, a lot of teams just look at him as a filler guy. You can put him in, he's going to give you some production, but he isn't the guy that you want long term. He isn't a guy that you feel is a foundation and building piece. And I feel like Charlotte just testing him out, see what he can do. They like him as a prospect, and they want to bring him in and see what he can do for them, and then they evaluate him later. And that's what his role going to be with this Charlotte Hornets team this season. Mason Plumlee, just an effort guy. He's going to finish. He's going to pass. He's going to set screen. He's going to get guys open, and he's going to just make the right decision at the end of the day. Just a guy that knows what he is, understands his role, and just plays the game the right way. He's going to be a legitimate starter for them, gives them a little bit more ability and a little bit more athleticism that they usually don't have outside of Biombo, who just isn't a great player all around at all outside of being lanky and mobile. And I think that's something that they get with Plumlee, but just a better understanding of the game. Nick Richards, just a third string big. I don't see him getting significant time or having a huge role on this roster, but they still going to develop him and see what they can get out of him as a rotation player this season. Just not going to be a huge player on this team. Ish Smith just going to come in and give them buckets. A guy that can push the tempo. A guy that's going to look for a shot. A guy that's going to come in and just make plays and really just give them a juice and an injection when it comes to scoring and trying to make things happen and collapse defenses and just try to take a lot of shots. And you need that, especially with this team, because they really did fall apart. They really did get a little stagnant, and having a guy that can make things happen and just give them a different look, especially something that they didn't really have outside of Terry Rozier last year, and that's somebody you can play with them. Not going to be the greatest defensive backcourt, but definitely can be very fun offensively. JT Thor, I don't see him getting a lot of minutes and having a huge role. And PJ Washington, a big body, was really productive for them, can rebound, still trying to learn how to space the floor from mid-range and three, still trying to get that burst so he can be a great finisher around the basket, but has been a solid pickup for them. I definitely see him have longevity in this league and is very productive. You need rotation guys that can play multiple positions and bring multiple things to the table in the minutes that they're out there. And PJ Washington has shown that he can do that. And last but not least, Terry Rozier and LaMelo Ball. The guys that's going to be outside of Gordon Hayward, the primary decision makers and scorers. They're going to be running the offense in transition. They're going to be trying to look for shots and create shots for this entire team. Terry Rozier is more of a scorer. He's going to be looking to break down the defense, hit the mid-range, come off those pick and rolls, hit threes, make the quick passes, make the quick layups, and just collapse the defense and just keep them guessing. You need somebody aggressive. You need somebody that can really cause chaos and havoc out there on the court. And if Rozier can continue to be efficient while still mixing it up offensively and still having that explosion to go off anytime he wants to, this team can still be dangerous. They needed somebody that can really give them that burst. Especially in that starting lineup, and I do think Terry Rozier can still bring that to the table. That's why they gave him the extension, and he did show growth, he did show improvement, and they didn't mind paying him and keeping him another couple years, and we'll just see what his role is. And then LaMelo Ball, the guy that everybody felt like could be a superstar, the guy that everybody was loving even before he got into the league. He has really turned out to be a solid player for them, has really improved his shot selection. He has really improved his aggression and really has made teammates better. He's just fun to play with. We knew that coming into the NBA, especially because he really rethought when he got benched. He really rethought what he should be doing on the court because he didn't want to lose minutes. He wanted to gain minutes and become a starter, and he was able to do that by slowing the game down and by understanding it's not about the highlights. It's not about the craziness. It's about winning games. And once that set in and once he went out there and did it, it just helped his team take another step in the right direction. He was always exciting. He was always fun. But we need to win. You know, we drafting you to change this team entirely to being a playoff team, to possibly being a championship team, which Charlotte hasn't had. And we'll see what they do. This guy is a great playmaker. This guy has been solid defensively, better than I thought. And he has been decent from three. Not great, not amazing, but better than what I thought that he would be. This is just because he's playing more off the ball. And he's scoring and taking his tough threes, but just not as tough and not just throwing them up like he was doing overseas. So he has better understanding, has a better feel, and I expect him to get better. He's going to start with these guys, has played the entire season with them outside of the injury, and really went to war with them and really knows what these guys need to succeed. And his coach has been great, has got this team to defend, has got this team to really believe, to play together, and really has shown them that we can get it done. We can be better than what people think. He has done that each and every season to me in Charlotte, and I do see this team being a playoff team. They don't have scary talent. They might not have elite talent, but they got a lot of guys that's going to compete. They're going to have a lot of guys that's going to fight. And they're going to have a lot of guys that's going to come at you. That's something that I loved about Charlotte. That's something that always made them an interesting team. They scrappy. They really are a team that believe that they can beat anybody, even if they don't have the best scorers, even if they don't have the best players. They don't quit and they don't give up, and they come at you on both ends of the court. And that's something that I respected years ago, and that's something that I love seeing now that the talent is starting to get filled out on this team, and guys are really becoming who they are and what they want to be in the league. And the best part about it is they have another year to do it together, and they have another year to build upon the success that they had last year and ultimately make the playoffs for the first time in years this season. Now we have to see if they get it done. If they do make it, I do see them as a first round exit. If not, this team can definitely be a play-in team, putting themselves back in the conversation to fight or at least lock up one of those spots like they was in last year. And maybe we can see a guy on this team take his game to another level and evolve into a star. He's already a starter. Can LaMelo Ball turn into a star slash all-star caliber player in his second season as a starter for the entire season, hopefully, for the Charlotte Hornets? So this is a team to look out for. This is a team that's fun to watch. This is a team that I always look forward to enjoying, even years ago. And now it's starting to come together. And now they looking like something. Now they becoming something. Now they got a lot more respect the last couple of years. Now they have to do their job and get the job done and make the playoffs and make some noise for Charlotte. And we'll see what happens. Other than that, Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis signing out. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the continued watching and subscribing. All I can say is I love it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying making these videos each and every day. And y'all enjoy watching. That's why y'all clicking every day. So we good. I'll check out some new content and bring y'all some new videos tomorrow. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis signing out.